Do you know all the spirits who haunt the top level of the haunted Mineral Springs Hotel? We continue to discover and just experience something new. Watch and find out. Welcome to Friday Night Ghost Frights from Haunted Road Media. I'm author and ghost historian Mike Ricksecker. Explore with us. The Mineral Springs Hotel in Alton, Illinois is arguably the most haunted building in the most haunted small town in America. And we at Haunted Road Media, the paranormal investigation team known as Society of the Haunted, have been investigating there for a few years now, and it never fails to disappoint. This past weekend at the Haunted Road Media ParaCon, we experienced something new upstairs that we hadn't yet before at Mineral Springs. The most notorious room on the hotel's top floor is known as Pearl's Room, and we've had many paranormal experiences in the room down the hall known as Molly's Room. We'll go into both of these in just a moment, including some newer things that have happened to us in Molly's Room. But around midnight during the investigation, Shauna and I were out in the hallway because we had just heard something come from down one of the halls. And what's really great about this part of the hallway is that it makes an L shape so that you can actually see down both sides of the hall. Well, I'm looking straight down the one hallway, which actually goes out through a door to the old owner's suite. And from down that hallway, I saw a shadow start to take shape, and it came closer and closer. And I turned to Shauna and said, "Do you see what I see?" And she did. And basically what we saw was the apparition of a girl start to take form. So it started off as this shadow, and I actually saw it kind of do this thing as it kind of moved down the hallway a little bit, kind of forming low on one side and coming up on the other side a little bit higher. And so we started talking and asking her to come closer and closer, and for a while she did.
I went after he said that, and I was like looking in the spot where I had seen the original, the shadow playing, and I was like, wow. Like, okay. And she was just, and I was so hoping that everybody behind us was seeing it too. And everybody was just like, oh my God.
Now, there were several others with us at the time since we were running a public investigation for the ParaCon. So Tom McNicholas, Dustin Samario, Nick Moulet, Steve Rist were also with us. And 3 of those 4 also saw this. So the little girl only came so close. She was clothed in a dress, and Shauna and I still continued to try to coax her forward, but she stopped about midway into the hall.
And she was so close. She would come forward a little bit, and then she'd stop, and I'd be telling her, please, just come closer, just a little closer. I don't want to go over there, so you have to come here. And I wanted to meet her so bad, and she would come a little closer, and then she would stop.
As far as what she looked like to me, she looked like she was about 8 or 9 years old. In fact, she looked a lot like the illustration that Adam Tillery drew for our book, Encounters with the Paranormal, Volume 3, the Mineral Springs Hotel Edition. Now, there is a room off to the side there in which many people believe a little girl resides. There's toys in there, blankets, things that a little girl may like to interact with. We don't know if this girl in the hallway is associated with that room, if she's possibly one of these girls that others have seen, picked up on, gotten EVPs of. We don't know. But this little girl was certainly in the hallway that night. Unfortunately, we didn't pick it up on any video since we were running the public investigation for the ParaCon that night and didn't actually have our video equipment with us. Also, a newer experience that we've had at Mineral Springs upstairs, down in Molly's room, didn't actually have anything to do with Molly. While broadcasting the Inside the Upside Down live stream show earlier this year, we heard a disembodied man's voice emanate from down the hall when there was absolutely no one else there. A little while later, we heard something out in the hallway, like somebody was moving around out there, and then shortly after that, Shauna felt her butt getting grabbed. This was very different than any of her previous experiences with Molly. In fact, Shauna doesn't believe it was Molly at all and was a male presence.
We were just basically going in room to room. Hey, the reception's pretty good in here. Let's go in here.
You hear that banging around down there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So as we're up here in Molly's room, there's banging around going on down there. I hear voices. It sounded like a guy's voice. Here, I'm going to go check. Nobody.
I was gonna blow it off as outside, but it sounded a little close.
It sounded like it was just down the hall. I almost thought for a second that Dave and Donna were showing back up. Were you the one that touched Shauna earlier, sitting down in the chair?
Did you grab my arm?
Did you hear some movement? Like out in the hallway?
Sounded a little louder than a drip.
We really do want to get to know you a little bit better. Are you in here with the room with us right now? That was like a footstep nearby. Where are you from, Molly? That was a drip behind me.
Drip.
That's a drip over there. But that other one was right over there behind you. I'll let you ask the next question.
Molly, did you just touch my arm?
Did you feel something?
Every once in a while, you get just like this little poke. It's just like a.
Okay.
And I always wonder if I'm having like a tendon or like a muscle spasm or whatever. And so I always blow it off.
Right.
Unless it happens again. Ooh, like.
Oh, like right there.
Oh my God. That was.
So this is kind of like what happened. But this is a different spot.
Molly, that wasn't you. You were not grabbed my butt, right? You know what it felt like, though? It felt like someone went.
Really?
Like scraped down my pocket.
Okay.
Like right here. Like right there. It just went. And that wasn't cold. That was warm.
So this might be somebody different. There was definitely a footstep that was behind you. Then you felt something on your arm. And then you just... something on your butt.
While other people have reported paranormal experiences with male spirits upstairs, this is the first time in all the years that Shauna and I have been investigating up there that we have actually interacted with a male spirit. As for why we call this Molly's room, well, we based that on a previous paranormal investigation we conducted during the 2018 Haunted Road Media ParaCon. What had happened during this investigation is that 3 of us were sitting on the chairs within the room. We were doing a basic question and answer session, seeing if we could get any responses. Shauna felt like somebody was near her and suddenly started feeling like it was an M name, because we were asking, what's your name, since we had experienced a lot of activity in that room before. Shauna felt strongly that it was an M name, and so she asked, does your name begin with an M? And she felt a poke in her arm. Now, Shauna is a sensitive and an empath, so her getting the idea that a girl's name starts with an M is not unusual. In fact, immediately after, she got the idea that the girl's name might be Molly. So she asked, is your name Molly? And boom, she got hit with a force that nearly knocked her out of her chair and into mine. In fact, I felt it in my chair and got knocked backwards. That's how strong it was. So ever since this moment, we have called the girl spirit in that room Molly and have called the room Molly's room. Over the years leading up to that moment, however, we experienced so many things in that room.
I don't like any of this up here.
What?
But
Why don't you like any of this up here?
well, in that first room, I didn't really feel uncomfortable the last time I was here. But
Oh, hello.
What's up?
Feeling it right on my right arm. Hi, how are you? I'm Mike, this is Shauna. We're exploring up here right now. You have a name? We're gonna walk down the hall. We're just checking things out right now.
Do you have long, kind of light brown hair?
Interesting. I was also thinking long brown hair.
Oh my God. back in here because I'm leaving? Where are you at? I come in every single room until I find you.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, like going off kilter.
There's a bit of nausea in here also, which I think is just because of the room being,
Oh, what was that?
I don't know,
It was like a scraping sound.
what's it mean?
It's back in the other room.
Which one, this one?
Yeah. I don't know if it was like when the chairs moved or it was like a scraping sound. You move one of these chairs?
Shauna also had a very emotional moment there in Molly's room just a few short months after we discovered her name on an afternoon we were there with Zara the zombie doll.
The area around like shimmer
Yeah,
a little bit. Like
it's from the heat waves.
That's what I was seeing in between me and the doll.
Really?
So I didn't know if it was just my eyes playing tricks on me or...
But it's not hot enough for that to do the heat wave, mirage effect, all of that. You hear this, Molly? Our EMF is gone. You okay? What did you feel?
I don't know. It was just really sad. My throat started closing up.
All of this is not to diminish the fact that Pearl's room upstairs is still very haunted. Dave Nunnally from the metaphysical shop It's Raining Zen, headquartered there in the building, tells us why.
I don't know how he did it, but Dave found Pearl's nephew, and his name is Steve. And Steve obviously is still very much alive because he came here. He's a big guy. He's like 6 foot something. He's bigger than me. Big burly guy. You know, tattoos and a beard. Oh, sorry, tattoos, a big beard, kind of a motorcycle. You know, you saw him walking down the street. Okay.
You're right.
He came up here, and he's talking to Aunt Pearl. He remembers
Wow.
Pearl
Oh,
as
does
a
he?
boy. Of course,
Wow,
yeah.
okay.
And when he's talking to Pearl, we recorded an EVP. They recorded it. We didn't know about it. We heard it on air the first time when Dave had us come to studio, and they're playing stuff for us and asking Donna, more Donna than me. I'm as dumb as a box of rocks. She's the empath. And there's, what do you hear? And it sounds like somebody took a box of Tic Tacs and put it on a table and tipped it over, and they're falling out one after the other and hitting a
interesting.
wooden floor. Well, if you knew Pearl's story, it becomes incredibly poignant.
Right.
Pearl checked into the hotel under an assumed name. Her family still lives in Alton, and some of them aren't happy when I tell this story. So I'm going to tell it as delicately as I can. She checked in the hotel under an assumed name with a purse full of sleeping pills.
Right.
Fact. She came up to this room. Fact. She killed herself in this room. That's a fact.
Right.
It was not an accidental overdose. What happened after she died is open to some conjecture. I know the story, and I've had it confirmed by some members of the family. What happened to her in death is not as important as what happened to her as she died, and that she chose to come here and not be known to her family that she was here. And so that sound that Glover recorded, I think were the pills falling out of the bottle and hitting the floor. And it was as real as if it happened right here, right now with us.
It's actually a very difficult room to investigate, being right there in the corner of the building, across the road from the bar, with all the traffic that goes by. But that said, Shauna had experienced something significant there during one particular paranormal investigation.
Let's take a few more minutes up here in Pearl's room, and then we'll pick up again in a little bit.
See, and that's what happened before. See, that was banging back there. Okay, we're gonna put you down here. So let's do Pearl's room, like we said. What was that?
I don't know, but
That was big.
just saw just a real quick flash of a face right here. Did anybody else see that? You guys were kind of facing that way.
They were kind of facing that direction. I was busy putting them down, and there was a large something.
It was right here. And you know that one picture that I have? It's of me. It was from the vampire photo shoot. And it's just my face close up with blue eyes.
Yeah.
It was that style of face. It was like the profile. It was right here in this section right there. That would have been about my height. That's the
Get any other.
The face would have been right here.
Can you come out here and talk to us?
Ow.
Yeah.
Oh, my wrist just started hurting really bad. My arm, my forearm.
Pearl, if that was you that grabbed Shauna's wrist or tried to touch her in some way right there, can you just say your name, Pearl?
That was painful.
Can you just say your name, Pearl? If it wasn't, if it was somebody else, can you please say whatever your name was? Then there's the old owner suite, separated from the rest of the upstairs haunts. Within this suite is the room in which the legend of the Jasmine Lady is supposed to have originated. The legend hasn't been able to be confirmed, so essentially it's folklore, but basically it goes that a man walked into the hotel room on his wife where she was cheating on him. A fight ensued and broke out, and he ended up throwing her down the stairs where she fell to her death. The stairs are reportedly very haunted, and at times people are said to have picked up on the scent of her perfume, a jasmine perfume lingering in the air. Of course, the room that was once hers, which is located within the owner suite, is also supposed to be very active. Shauna gets completely creeped out in the apartment, and I've had the experience of walking into a room that had an alcove and thinking that somebody was actually in that alcove, but nobody was there.
Are these the stairs she fell down?
Yes, these are the stairs. These are the stairs that the Jasmine Lady was said to have fallen down.
Said to have.
She was in her head right there.
There's a couple of broken stairs.
Well, that's probably where her arm hit her elbow.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah. This is the place.
This room right here. Shauna gets really creeped out up here. So, it does have a vibe.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So.
Oh, there's like carpet.
Well, yeah, it's. Yeah,
Okay.
it's the cushion, the carpet.
I was
So,
like, what?
this was supposed to be the room.
Oh, I thought that was a shower.
Oh, the light.
Why is her?
And apparently they fought out in the hallway. That's a closet. I don't know. That was a doorway at one point. Huh.
Oh, yeah.
It goes into the closet.
It's a closet now.
This room is-
But apparently they fought all the way down this hall. That's the deal. So Shauna says the walls feel like people are coming out of them at you and watching. Had to duck into the pantry. That's true. So there's a huge pantry. It was kind of funny. As we were up here together, and I was just checking out.
Floors.
Yeah, I was just checking out the kitchen, and it has this massive pantry here. And I'm over here just checking it out, right? And all of a sudden, Shauna comes running down the hall. It's right into the pantry, like right in front of me. It's crazy.
She's like a little ninja.
Yeah. Because it was just funny because I'm sitting here, oh wow, there's this nice huge pantry, and all of a sudden Shauna's just right in front of me. Now where I caught something was in this room here. So I was coming into this room, and there's this little alcove off to the right, and it was like somebody was standing right there. The Mineral Springs Hotel is extremely haunted, and this video only covered the top floor. For a paranormal walkthrough of the haunted hotel and full paranormal investigation videos, please check out our other videos off to the side. I'm Mike Ricksecker. Until next Friday night.